Hello, folks. Welcome in. I'm Mike Kearney from StreamCycle, and I just thought instead of making a video, instead of taking the time to make a video, I'd go live and just give everyone a few updates about what the project's been doing, what we've been up to, why we had to cancel last week's gig, and where we're at now, and basically how we're pulling all this off before we kick off with our first Mark II concert tonight. Hey, Chiz. Thanks for coming in, folks. So I'll just get started, and if you're watching back afterwards, that's totally cool. That's the whole point. Um, what have I got for you? So when we finished our last gig, it was StreamCycle 17 with Nicole and Charlie. When we finished that in December, I decided to take a break and move away from StreamCycle because it was just, well, it was getting a bit too much and it was getting too difficult to keep pulling off the gigs. There was challenges every single time we did it. There was different challenges every time to do with players, the technology the players are using, and updates, and trying to find new and better and easier ways to do things. So we moved away from that. But then shortly into January, I came up with an idea of how to kind of circumvent a lot of the challenges and how to move forward with a different model that would make a whole bunch of stuff easier. And we've managed to do that to a certain extent. We can now, speak to each other during the gig, and then we switch over into music mode, and we are still layering up all the audio in real time, in using live overdubbing. So it's still the same. It's still StreamCycle. Whoever is going first in the chain, for example, tonight with the Delorean gig, it'll be me in first position, and then after that, Ben on the drums will hear me playing, and he'll play along, and that will be all he'll hear. He'll be playing a duo gig, but then that combined signal will be sent to Dougie on the bass. He'll play in essentially a trio gig. That combined signal will be sent to Chiz on the guitar, and then on to Chuck, and then back round into my system. So essentially, it's still working the same way, but it's completely different because we're using a whole bunch of different technology, which I'll get into in a bit, just to give you guys a wee insight for anyone who is interested in how we're doing it. Hi, Stuart. How are you doing? Welcome in, folks. So, I'm going to show you a video just now of some tests. We did a couple of tests last night to try like one final configuration of how to pull everything off. It's been very, very difficult. I did all this. I came up with this new method to make things easier, and in a way, we've made it much easier for the players. But it turns out that by making it easier for the players, it's put a whole lot more strain on my system, because there's a lot of video encoding and decoding and processing, and a lot of audio processing going on all over the place. And the less strain I take away from other people in the chain, the more strain gets put on my system. And even though I'm running 2 MacBooks and a bunch of different screens, and one of the MacBooks is like a 2020 MacBook Pro, which I'm so pleased to have. But even then, it's nowhere near cutting it. It's like a tricycle trying to race in a Formula One race. I need a hefty machine to be able to pull off the original idea. So that's why we had to cancel Thursday with Zeitgeist. It didn't work. It crashed. It's been crashing for about 3 or 4 weeks, and every time we try it, everything smashes and crashes. And I try something different, and I figure out some loads of workarounds, and I research and employ new technology and new software, and it works to a certain extent, and then it crashes. My machines just aren't built to be able to pull off my original idea. So essentially, the original idea theoretically is possible, and maybe I'll talk about that in a bit, but essentially we haven't been able to pull it off. Everything else, the audio is working really well, but the video not so much. So what we've decided to do, and I'll show you a video right now, what we've decided to do is just have, instead of applying separate delays to everyone's video feed to sync them all up so that they look like they're playing all together, we're presenting, what the audio sounds like. Instead of doing that, we're just leaving the Zoom video going, so everyone is essentially playing out of, looks like they're playing out of time, but of course they're not. And I'll let you see just how it looks. What else is there? Yeah, this is one, and we were going to have to use pre-records for the Zeitgeist guests, and by that I mean people like Roscoe Galloway would record their performance beforehand, and then send it to the band, and we play along with that live. We've now managed to figure it out so that we can reintegrate the guests in real time, so everyone is playing live. We've got that magic back, and here's what it looks like. This is our Zeitgeist test last night, and we've rescheduled this gig for this coming Wednesday. So next Wednesday, the 14th, we're going to have our first Zeitgeist gig. So here's last night. You'll see the poster is a Delorean poster. Don't worry about that. And you'll see the moment Roscoe starts off out of sync, and you'll see the moment where I applied the delay and figure out to get him in time, and it works. And it's the first time in about 4 months of working on this new model that it's worked properly, or that it's gotten to the point where we can present it to the public. So check it out. This is Zeitgeist with Roscoe Galloway.
Listen to me, crawling on the ocean floor. I got tangled in a Portuguese monoboard on an old sea snail. I'm hanging round in a fishwive's tail. Sand and mirrors and there's a year, so wrongs and fun love songs. It fought so hard to get here, found us little Indian squall, wave up that lane on the stingray. The quickest on the quick draw, back to the crate on the dock. Pincers in the low block, time is going tick-tock. Crawling on the ocean floor, I got entangled in a Portuguese monoboard on an old sea snail. I'm hanging round in a fishwive's tail, crawling on the ocean floor. I got entangled in a Portuguese monoboard on an old sea snail. I'm hanging round in a fishwive's tail.
Okay, so there you have it. That was Roscoe live with the full Zeitgeist band live last night at the end of a couple hours of testing. And we managed to work it all out. So we're really looking forward to that rescheduled gig, which will happen this coming Wednesday, the 14th. Yeah, so that's going to be great. The Zeitgeist band are amazing, full of amazing, lead session players. So check them out. Tonight we've got our very first Delorean gig, and it turns out it was going to be the second Mark II gig, but this is going to be the first because we pulled last week. And I'm really looking forward to it. This is me in first position. This is with 5 or 6 completely original pieces written for this project. So this music hasn't been heard, publicly before. So that's going to be cool. Thanks, Chiz. Yeah, we did that test from like 6 till 8 last night, right after we finished with DeLorean. So thank God we managed to figure it out. It was like in the last 10 minutes before everyone had to go do other stuff. We managed to pull that together. So pleased. And as you can see, it doesn't look like what I wanted it to look like, but whatever. I think the audio will sound amazing and people can still get a lot out of these concerts. And if Mark II turns out to be just an audio project that worked really well, then I'd be happy with that, because we've done a lot of work with the audio. And I guess I'll show you, I'll briefly show you the software that we're using, and I'll give you a wee bit of a rundown of how we're doing it. I'm showing you this. This is my activity monitor, and yeah, so you can see over here the cores are running at about 70%, these guys here, and there's a lot of green. That means that the CPU and the GPU, that's the processing and the graphics card, are working very hard right now. When I'm doing the stream cycle, they're completely maxed out and they're being overworked. So in order to pull off some hefty video processing, which I want to moving forward, I would need to buy and build my own like kind of monster supercomputer. So I'm speaking to Paddy Darley about that. He knows about that kind of stuff. So the idea is to try and keep these numbers down, and that's what we've managed to do after many, many, many dozens of tests with the two different bands. We've gotten to a point where it's like that scene in Apollo 13 where the guy goes in and he tries to configure and get the right sequence of flicking on the switches so that the power stays underneath 12 volts, and we've just managed to keep it underneath 12 volts. So yeah, this is Loopback. This is Rogue Amoeba's Loopback, an incredible piece of software, and this has made the whole thing possible. We're running a lot of different applications, and we're being able to route them all over the place into all, from sound from one application to another. Okay, this is a very good piece of kit, and couldn't do it without it. That's just always running in the background. This is Logic Pro 10, and this is one of the digital audio workstations or DAWs that I'm using. The other is Reaper, and Reaper can work on Windows and Mac. So what I'm having to do is, if I'm at the start of the chain, I'm using Logic, and I create my sound in here, and I send it via this guy, and this guy is what's made Mark II possible. This is Audio Mover's Listen to VST plugin, and this sends high quality sound from one digital audio workstation to another. So I can send this to Ben, and then he has a template where he can take the sound that's coming in and route it to different channels. So he has his own monitor mix, and then he sends that again out to Dougie or whoever's next in the chain. So everyone has a similar setup. If they're using Logic, if they're using Reaper, they have a similar setup to this where they're using the same plugin and the same receiver, the Listen to receiver. Okay. Now for me, I won't get into the ins and outs, but these are essentially the pieces of kit. So these are things that anyone can buy, and anyone can get the Listen to plugin. This is not exclusive software that we've been creating. These are things that are available to the public. So StreamCycle is very much just employing a new method of making music together online. We haven't been developing software. I don't know how. I didn't know how to use GarageBand a year ago. So that's all that. Maybe we should look into the next video. I'll just check out a few of these comments, folks. Katie, I know it sounds impressive. I just wanted, for those people who are interested, I wanted to go into a wee bit more detail about what exactly we've been up to and why it's so difficult. It's very challenging just to run Logic on a Mac anyway. Never mind trying to run a stream and trying to run Zoom and trying to take the video from Zoom and put it into the streaming software. And it's basically all doable. Anyone can do it, and there are plenty of YouTube videos. I learned everything I know today in the last year from YouTube, so it's all doable. But it's just, the hard part is not knowing how your computer does it, because now that I have a better idea about how that happens, I know how limited my setup is now. So I want to take it further, but I don't think I can afford it. So Sheehan, it's phenomenally impressive. Thanks. Well, hopefully the music itself will be even better. Hopefully people will forget about the technology and just enjoy the music when we play it tonight. Amazing insight into your recording process. Stunning. Thanks, Colin. Appreciate it. I will have some of these screens up during the gig as well, and I'll maybe do some explanation of what's going on so people have a little more insight into how we're doing it, because it's not magic. It's very much, anyone can do this. It just takes a lot of hard work. StreamCycle reveal. You got it, Roscoe. I thought, what's the point? It'll make me feel better to tell everyone how difficult this is, because then I can relax a bit if something goes wrong. Katie, not Aristotelian logic. It's different. Okay, cool. Right, folks. bearing all that in mind, here's what it sounds like when the band use it. So this is a Delorean video. We recorded this live in real time over a Zoom call using our new audio technology yesterday. And it was the first time that it worked properly for Delorean as well. So we're super excited for tonight's gig. Check it out. Oh, this is a brand new original piece called Continuum. Moving on.
You never have to advertise. You and me, Chuck. You never have to downsize. You never have to tell me twice to give him shelter, help to scandalize. I'm always gonna see you home. I'll always be your road to Rome. My love is the continuum. It never falters, just like slides alone. It's the continuum. The continuum. It's the continuum. For you, my love, the only one. The continuum. It's the continuum. It's the continuum. Burning on when your life oil's gone. The continuum. It's the continuum. It's the continuum. You, my love. Cheers. You want to take one? Chuck, take it over.
There you have it, a wee preview of one of our brand new tunes, Continuum, by Delorean, for our very first ever gig tonight. So the idea with these cyber bands is they will only exist online. They will only exist playing music together using this StreamCycle method. Now, of course, yeah, we could all hook up in the same place. That would be absolutely great. That would be much better. But we can't. So we're doing this, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be something, you know. New chance is right, Roscoe. Tons of new chance. We're going to be doing a lot of jamming and improvising, but we've also got a whole bunch of brand new music that's been written here on the piano that I learned to play on. So I'm still in Ireland right now, and even though I'm hundreds of miles away, we can still take part in StreamCycle no matter where we are in the world. Okay, cool. So great sound, says Colin. Yes, and it's hopefully it's going to sound even better by tonight. Because I have to apply a few more special compressors and stuff to the music. So that's the thing about this new method, is we can absolutely treat and mix the sound, all the parts individually. In the old model, you had to layer up your sound into the next bit, and then receiving at the end, you just got a stereo signal of everything that was mixed up. So you baked the cake along the way. This way, we get to bake the cake at the end of the day. Okay. So what else is there? Oh yeah, for anyone who's watching now or anyone who's watching afterwards, one of the reasons for this video is to put a call out. If you do want to, we have been working, I'm not afraid to say we've been working our asses off, and this has been causing me a lot of stress because it simply didn't work. My computer's not strong enough. It didn't work the way it was supposed to. And it's caused me a lot of stress because I really wanted to pull this off. And we've pulled off something special, I think. And the guys in both the bands have been absolutely amazing, and they're playing incredibly well. And they've put a lot of work in, and a lot of time and a lot of patience in to make this happen with me. So to honor them and to honor the work that everyone's put in, I'm putting a call out for StreamCycle subscribers. Now, if you want to, you can pay a monthly £3. You can also pay £6, £12, £20, up to £50, I think, however much you want, however much you can afford, because we'll be doing weekly gigs from now on for the next 3 months. And you can pay your monthly little subscription, and you get into the StreamCycle subs Facebook group, and all that means is you get the full gig the day after. Everyone can watch the full gig when it's live, but then I'm gonna chop off like most of the gig. I'm only gonna leave about 30 to 40 minutes up live in Facebook for you to watch after. I don't think that's going to matter too much, because most people will just probably catch it live and not bother watching back. But if you do want to watch it back multiple times, or if you do just want to support the project, because these are all fine musicians and we're trying our best to do something that's incredibly difficult. And I think I'm not afraid to say it, I'm maybe the only person who knows how difficult this is, and it kind of breaks my heart because it's so hard, and I just want to do a good job, you know what I mean? And I think everyone's in the same boat, and I think we've done it. We've cracked it as to a certain extent. So come and join it with us. If you want to support the project, go ahead and click the link above, head over to the StreamCycle website, and you can become a subscriber from as little as £3 a month, but you can obviously pay more. And we're still leaving the links at the gigs for if you want to just give a one-off donation of £5, £10 per gig, if you feel like it. That will go towards paying for the development and paying the players for the gigs. Okay? That's all I'll say about that. I'll have a look into these comments. Katie, we cover basic electronics logic in engineering inputs, outputs, logic gates, and equivalences. No, it's not electronic. Logic is the name of the digital audio workstation. Logic's the name of the music software. I think, and it's just Apple's digital audio workstation. No, Logic is just the name of the program. Yeah, thanks for answering the question, Chiz. Cool. When is cake? Says Ben Alderson. Cake is tonight. Okay, on that note, I'm going to leave you guys. Thanks very much for tuning in live. Thanks for your questions and comments. I'll be Mike Kearney, and this has been StreamCycle. Go ahead and share this if you think other people should want to know about it. Any other final questions, get them in right now. We've got our very first Delorean gig tonight, and that'll be, I think we'll go live at about 8:20 with a 10-minute holding page for people to show up and for us to get the shares in. And then we'll be live from 8:30 till about 10 o'clock with myself, Ben Collard, Dougie Coulter, Andy Chisholm, and Chuck Dearness. And it's going to be great. The boys are sounding great and super excited. Okay, cheers very much to everyone for tuning in. I'll see you tonight. And if I don't see you tonight, farewell and be safe. Bye-bye.